Hello, 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 people. Welcome. This is Rita Wood and Natasha. Natasha, do you have a last name? Diaz. We're your upper level brain trainers, fast T style modality, and we are here. This is a 12-step mindfulness community. And, this is an opportunity that we can create a mindset that empowers us, a mindset that leads us forward into a life that we love, a life by design. And we do this with the principles and the mindset of faster EFT, neuroplasticity, brain reconsolidation, memory reconsolidation, NLP, hypnosis. Like, all these modalities are coming together in this format where it doesn't cost hundreds of dollars to go see a therapist or a practitioner, but you can take responsibility by coming and learning little by little, inch by inch. Everything's a cinch. Coming to the meetings, participating at whatever level of participation that you participate works. So the meetings are Mondays and Thursdays, and these are Central Daylight Savings Time now. So that's 9:30 a.m., which happens to be 7:30 LA time, Pacific time. And then 5:30 daylight savings, so Central time. So they're weekly meetings, and they're on Zoom. We do have some live ones in the Phoenix area, and maybe in the near future we will have some in Canada and Wisconsin, where you can meet someone from our team, and we can host this meeting, which allows you to get an idea of what brain training is, what neuroplasticity is, and how you can actually create a transformational living mindset. So you come and join us and get a new perspective of how we see the world and how we could see the world. So we welcome you. And if you have any questions, any comments, you could always book an appointment or meet up. This is my calendar. You can scan this, and I can chat with you for 30 minutes, no cost, and just kind of give you an idea of what I see or answer any questions that you might have. Later on, we'll have other practitioners' QR codes where you can meet somebody else. So welcome to the 12 steps transformational system. And this is mindfulness, and it's hosted by One Tap Mindset. And I have some links here if you need links. And so we will start the meeting, and we start the meeting on time, which we're a little bit behind because we chatted on their stuff. So as we come into the meeting, it's just me and Natasha, so we're not worried about. So we started with the moment of silence. So if you're participating or listening to it, just take a deep breath in, close your eyes if you want, and just listen. And listen. Try this now. Just as you're doing the listening to me, I want you to pay attention to who's doing the listening. Like, what part of you is doing the listening? And just breathe in and out of your nose as you are being the listener. It's the listener. What you are experiencing right now is your beingness. Your being is presence. And this is before thought. So just the one way to just be present with that, I want you to say just to yourself in your presence, I love you, thank you, forgive me, I'm sorry. And you can say this throughout the meeting as you feel emotions or you notice body sensations. Just appreciate your body, your thoughts, your mind. It's gotten you here, you're safe. There's nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to prove, nothing to be right about. So I just want you to be with that and And I just want you to notice what you notice and say thank you. Now, I want you to take time to write down what you would like to get out of this meeting. And this could just be like a little note. Maybe you want peace, maybe you want just a sense of joy or connection, collaboration, maybe you want calmness. And I also want to say, like, however you show up to the meeting works. There's an opportunity for just to develop a sense of awareness. And you might hear things, what we like to say here is take what you like and leave the rest. So I want you to try things on, these are new concepts, these are new perspectives, these might not feel comfortable. And I just want you to notice that and just breathe in and out and just thank the part that realizes that, this is doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right, whatever it is. And I don't want you to make anything wrong for yourself, at least for this moment. Try 6 different meetings before you decide if this meeting is for you. So our meeting lasts for approximately 1 hour. During this hour, we come together for mutual support. We come to learn how we have access to power. So I want you to know that you already have the access to power. And we're just taking layers off of that, the stories that maybe we don't feel like we do, and the power to create a life by design. So I want you to know that you are already creating a life by design, either consciously or unconsciously. So the group conscious requests that all present refrain from gossip, dominance, discussion of religion, treatment centers, self-help programs, counseling, advice giving, and the use of materials other than the one-tap mindset approved literature. And this is important because we're all coming from different belief system, different modalities, and we want to just be conscious about, we don't give advice. How you are and what's going on in your life is perfect. It's what's gotten you here. It's what has survived you. It's what has provided safety, and even if it's maladapted, even if it's not what you would prefer. So remember that we keep the focus on us and not on others. So we thank you for the cooperation in our efforts to stick to the one-tap mindset principles. So we're not in person, so you can turn off your cell phones if you're not. And if you're here for the first, second, or third time to this 12-step meeting, we'll allow you to state your name and we welcome you. And so, Natasha, do you want to welcome the individuals, give us your experience, strength, and hope, and what's touched you, what's moved you, or what's inspired you out of the participation of not only a 12-step program, but brain training, neuroplasticity, faster EFT, like mindset?
Yeah, hi, I'm Natasha. I'm an upper level 4 practitioner with Tactics, and I'm so happy to attend these calls with Rita. Every call that I do attend, I learn something new. It refreshes concepts for me, and I really want to encourage everyone that by taking ownership of your thoughts and how you react to the world in general, by learning to do this, you can actually change pretty much everything in your life. So I do encourage you to join the calls, get the support that is being given by Rita and Tammy both for free, basically here. And they're really great people, and they're there to support you and take the support and change your life.
Very good. Thanks, Natasha. So first of all, we're going to go through what I call like how we operate. So why we have problems. And so this particular, it's what I call the 10 commandments of why we have problems, pains, issues, and symptoms. And I believe that these are 100% true for you and everyone and anyone in this planet. And like I said earlier, take what you like and leave the rest. But Natasha, we're going to go ahead and read the 10 Commandments. And if you are inspired to pause and we can discuss what it looks like for people out there or how that is true. How is that 100% true? Do you want to read?
Sure. So the first one is, before you were born, the stage was set. Environment, people, places, or things, culture, community, religions, beliefs, and stories. They, your caregivers, had skills, belief, coping skills, talents, stories, and problems before you arrived. 3, you were born into human conditions. 3, they impacted you. They impacted you. Influenced, taught, controlled, forced, avoid, manipulated, convinced, changed, withheld, protected based on what they knew at the time. 5, you develop coping skills, how-tos, love, survive, how to connect, how to contribute, certainty, grow, significance, variety. 6, you created a belief system about who you are, ego, identity, survival, because your perspective of how the world works was created. 7, you created an identity, an I am, because began to operate and survive within the world. I'm on my own. I don't belong. There is something wrong here with me. 8, you will find your place in the world with people in which you fit your model rules of the world. 9, you have patterns, structures, themes, stories that will show up in different pairs of shoes everywhere you go. Emotions, beliefs, attitudes, behavior, action. And 10, therefore, all problems are metaphoric, unconscious expressions that are built from our inner reference, whether consciously remembered, can you scroll down? Or not. Your brain will express and create before you what you hold inside, already learned, and will repeat. EFTS, which is emotions, feelings, thoughts, and sensations.
Very good, thank you. And so this is we believe to be this 100% true of why we have problems. So you can look at any problem, anything that you don't like in your life anymore, and we can find the root cause of that. And the root cause is going to be coming from a belief system or a perspective, and those belief system and those perspectives were either implemented by family, your caregivers. They were either impacted, when you were growing up, something you learned, a behavior you picked up to survive, to get love, to be protected, whatever it is. We can find that that belief system or that identity and be able to, what we call it, rewriting, releasing, and rewire that old memory, because memories are data. Memory is your how-to, it's your code of action. So if there's behaviors out there that you don't want, there's phobias out there that you have, those can be changed. And they can be changed through neuroplasticity, behavioral engineering, memory reconsolidation, hypnosis, NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which is the mechanics of the mind. So is there any of these ones that we'd like to elaborate in, or should we go into the 12 steps? Hi, Shruti. Okay, so we'll go into the 12 steps, and if you guys see something that you like, we can just, again, pause and go into more depth. Who would like to read the 12 steps?
I'll continue. 12 steps of a transformational living belief system. 1, take complete ownership in all areas of life. The beginning of a new realm of possibility. Give something up. 2, seek truths that will improve your life. Try it on. A new view of life emerges. 3, Speak truth into wisdom. Find the gifts. Gain new skills, a new framework. Know, understand, realize, cultivate, action. 4. Recognize and develop healthy um, uh, default model network inner communications, opening new possibilities for beginning. Call powerfully into being where it matters to you most. 5. Understand and know your heart, mind, body connection, and you're the boundary. Find your gift, your value, touch, move, and inspire. Observe, notice, experience listening and watching. 6. Honor and transcend. Release, rewrite, rewire all stories, pains and hurts, data, programs within yourself, new openings for action, call you powerfully into action. Rewrite what you don't know that you don't know. Grief, the old programs, date, loss of the old way of being, old perceptions, it served its purpose. Transform all unpleasant memories and cultivate the gifts that get you into action, integrating new perspectives, memories, clearing, bringing nothing and everything to the conversation, generating new experience with gratitude, not grieving, free from some responsibility. I love you, thank you, forgive me, I'm sorry, from zero, neutral. 8. Create meaningful relationships with yourselves and others. Yourself and others, I apologize. Anything you want for yourself or your life is available out of your participation in cleaning and clearing moment by moment, moving through processing form action, form function. 9. Cultivate ultimate forgiveness in your life. Inspired to be a neutral state of being love, forgiveness, thankfulness, apologize. I'm sorry. I love you. Forgive me. Thank you to life. 10. Observe, notice, experience, non judgment. Live from non judgment. Cling to nothing. Master sage mode. Count down from 61 to 1 and live in gratitude, causing a new possibility to be present, such as that you are inspired by that possibility. Accepting. 11. Create with intention. Inspire. A life by design, stay connected to your new perspective. The results you get out of your participation will be a product of the possibilities that you invent for yourself and others. Acknowledging not being enslaved. 12. Live with passion and become highly emotionally intelligent. Be perfect divine love. Being authentic in your word value. Mentally flexible, not by beating yourself. Breathe or breath.
Breath. I think we forget to breathe sometimes. We're like constricted and we're like, and sometimes just the breath. The breath is good. Is there any one particular step that you guys want to kind of dive in and just express whatever it is you experience with that?
The creating the new life.
Which one is that one?
Okay, I don't remember that. Shristi, you want to pick one? I was thinking about the create your life by design one. There was one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that's always beautiful, certainly. Yeah, I was curious about the number 10, the stage mode, the countdown from 64 to 1.
Yes.
If Rita could talk more about that.
For sure.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. So, the foundation of this is it's a transformational living, right? So it's a day by day, it's a moment by moment. So here we are in the throe of the day, right? And number 10 is observe, notice, and experience. So if you had the perspective of observing and noticing and experiencing what you are processing, and that's visually, auditorily, kinesthetically. What are you smelling? What are you tasting, right? From a non-judgment or non-attachment, right? So because we're attached to everything. We're attached to outcomes. We're attached to our kids behaving a certain way. Our spouse is doing this, and our cars, our cars should be running 100%. They shouldn't have flat tires. They shouldn't need gas, because if they do, we're attached to the fact that they're not, and therefore it could throw us in a loop, right? So clinging to nothing, right? Like, can you imagine a life without clinging? And I know there's a part of us are like, you have to expect, or else you're not going to have anything. You need to judge those people and places and thing, or else you're going to be like a welcome mat, right? So there's this belief and a perspective that comes from a victim. We're a victim to the weather. Oh, it's too hot. We're a victim to the weather. Oh, it's too cold. We're the victim to it's, not enough sun. We're the victim to there's too much sun. So like, we're human beings ready to be a victim to something. So to master sage mode helps us kind of clear and clean all the senses, all the stuff that we're like and it's a moment to just kind of hone in. So what I like to do is you breathe in and out of your nose. You take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, in between every count. So it's 64, 63. And you could do this with your eyes open. You could do this in the subway. You can do this in the car. You can do this on the phone while you're talking to your favorite person in the world, whatever it is. And so as you're doing that, hey, you can be living in gratitude. Be thankful for your breath. Be thankful that you have teeth. Be thankful that you have hair, toes, toenails, that you have a stud. Like, you can be super gratitude in all that area. So, and just with those 5 things that you do in the sage mode will cause a new possibility. Why? As you know, as brain trainers, we're brain trainers. We know that now you're thinking from your executive mind, right? Because when we're in fight, flight, and freeze, we go into survival mode and we're not thinking straight. You've heard like, I wasn't thinking straight. I was so mad, angry, sad, lonely that I wasn't even thinking straight. So when you do that, when you do the sage mode, you're able to just really relax. And the reason why it's causing a new possibility is because you're present, and then there's an inspiration or there's an intention. And the intention might be like, I want to feel calm. I want to feel grateful. I want to feel, and then you're inspired because now you're clinging to nothing. You're not attached. There's no judgment. So inspirationally, not from fear, not from lack. See, we're very lack oriented. Like, oh my God, what if I don't, but so you'll be inspired by a possibility. And it's very accepting when you're in that stage. You're not accepting and you're clinging to everything and you're shut down and you can't observe and you're a victim. So step 10 really is a great step where you can cultivate that moment by moment, and it's really powerful. And so like in the beginning, it's going to be hard. In the beginning, it's going to be like, no, what if? No, they shouldn't, and we've all been there, right? So counting and tapping also helps. So that's between the eyes. You can do it with one hand, 2 hands, right side, left side. You can let it go. 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, 59, 58. And so peace. And then you keep going. Did you notice I went to 68? Because I'm not present, right? Mm-hmm. So this is your brain. It's a brain, guys. So we could exercise. This is one way to create it's like going to the gym. So start again, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, 61, 60, 59, 58. Now I'm using a different part of my brain. So when you're in stress mode and you're at a survival mode, you change that modality and you change it to color, sound, sight, sensation. Now you're shifting to a different part of the brain, which allows you to be more calm. So any questions on that one? What'd you guys hear?
It's good. 64 is an interesting number. I was just curious
Yeah,
about
you can do
64.
100. You can do
like it.
50.
Yeah.
I think if I was reading a book, Carolyn Leaf, I think, I don't know if she said 64 days is or 2 cycles of the brain or something like that happens, where you have new buds that grow out. So yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Natasha, you're talking about step 11.
Step 11.
So step 11, I think, so the step 11 is create with intention, inspired, a life by design. So when we first come to the work, it's pretty much empowering. We're trying to get ourselves empowered, right? So once we get ourselves empowered, now we have empowerment, then we could start creating intentions. Like, what is it that I want? What is it I want? Once you clean up and clear out all the muck, then you can live from the inspiration. And when you start living from an inspiration, you start creating a life by design, right? So, and then you want to stay connected to that new perspective, because we fall off the wagon, right? We fall off the wagon because fear pops in or worry pops in. And so we want to cycle back in there. Okay, where am I being empowered or disempowered? What's my intention? And then from that intention, then you can cultivate your inspiration. And how do you cultivate inspiration? You go to step 10. You do your sage mode, you cling to nothing. So you keep cycling that in. So staying connected to your new perspective is the work. It's the work. And then the results you get out of your participation. I mean, if we don't look, if you have a session with one of us as a Faster EFT practitioner, it becomes effortless, right? Like, we can rewrite memories and you can flatten those traumas, and you really don't have to we do recommend that you practice your happy memories, that you practice feeling good, but that's the only place I think that we can cheat is if we have an issue and we get a session, then your participation is null and void, because it's been rewritten from a neurological, deep rooted area. But the result of you that you get so the results you get out of your participation will be the product of the possibilities that you invent for yourself and others. So how can we invent something when we're in stress mode or not inspired or not empowered or have no intention? So, acknowledging, sometimes we just have to acknowledge, this is where I'm at. Nothing right, nothing wrong. Where I am, this moment is perfect. It's whole and complete. And I say not being enslaved because we're humans. We can be enslaved by a thought, a feeling, a sensation. We could be enslaved by, like, it should be like this. I should be a 10 instead of a 4. So everything could enslave us like that, right? So that's step 11. Yeah. Anything else? We can go on to the 64 mental attitudes. These are promises, and it's a mental diet where it's new verbiage, new perspectives, and it'll speak to some part of you, you as the listener and you as the participants here. And some will touch you, some will move you and inspire you to go deeper into the work or to run away. I mean, it just depends. It depends on what you have. So we will continue to read as much as you like. So just say your first name, read as much as you like, and then you can pass, and then someone else could continue.
All right, sure. Maybe I'll read some. I'm Srishti. The 64 mindset, attitudes, and promises and mental diet. Find yourself able to create something out of nothing, new realities, new future. Restore love and affinity with anyone at any time under any circumstances. Be able to shift your communication to being possibility-based and generative. Discover a new way of listening that allows you to be in a communication in any conversation. Have a newfound freedom and peace of mind. Experience a new level of power, self-expression, and leadership.
Okay, so I was going to say, let's just tackle the first 5, because I think
Yeah.
when we hear these first 5, we're like, depending on where the level of emotional intelligence that you have, the level of coping, some of our coping skills are eating, screaming, yelling, running away. Our coping skills are creating stress in our body. So, so one of them is find yourself able to create something out of nothing. When you're doing this kind of work, this kind of mental work, is that you can, just by reading step 10 and 11, can you notice that you are able to create something out of nothing? You go into sage mode, you breathe, you tap, that's creating from nothing. You could have been on
mental.
Go ahead.
Yeah, mental restructuring, because you're creating nothing out of, something out of nothing.
Yeah. Creating new realities. Some of us, if we keep doing what we've been doing, guess what? We're going to keep having what we've been having, right? So if nothing changes, nothing changes. So this is where the new realities start kicking in. And now you can see a new future. You can see yourself being more calm, more generous, more at peace. So those new futures start developing you. They start being a part of your, I say realm, but it's your perspective, Number 2, restore love and affinity with anyone at any time under any circumstances. Like, what do you hear when you hear that?
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, Natasha, you're muted.
It's a bit of make peace with your past. The people, the experiences that you had in your past, clean that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the only reason why we can't restore love and affinity now is because we have survival anchors that anchor us into safety. Therefore, there's no love in there. There's no affinity for anyone, even yourself. So when we make peace with the past, ultimate forgiveness, which is one of the steps, is restoring love for yourself, others, and the world. And you can create that skill set. You can gain that new mental diet that allows you to have that. Yep. Number 3, be able to shift your communication to being possibility-based and generative. Like, there's this thing where they say you either have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, right? So when we are in survival mode, we're fixed. We're like, this is it. This is how it was. This happened to me. There's no possibility. there's no hope. And so you by participating in this work, you'll be able to shift your communication. That's internal communication, like how you talk to yourself, how you talk to other people, how you talk in general. Is it possibility based? Is it like, oh yeah, maybe just maybe we can have, do, be, right? Where you generate, it's generating life instead of squashing, subduing, you know. Yeah. What else? What else are you guys seeing there?
It's like, in general talk, it would be positive thinking, but it's more of a this is more in line with how to do the positive thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's deeper than that. It's not white knuckling, because look, we've all been trained to be positive, just have a positive affirmation, right? But this is going to the root. So this is allowing you to be able to shift that like this, shift it like this. And the more you shift it, the more competency you have. Unconscious competency occurs. So number 4, discover a new way of listening that allows you to be in communication in any conversation. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So when we're not getting triggered by everything that's people are saying, some things, in both like the number 3 and number 4, is when we're just open to allowing for possibilities and listening without getting triggered, then it's just that conversation, is communication, and it's just possibility based. It's like the depth of communication and allowing and acceptance can just be limitless and boundless, instead of like being in that other place. It's like somebody says something and I'm getting triggered and I'm screaming and they're screaming and shutting down, all that. But this is like just allowing, and just it's a new way of listening, as you said, completely without any no agendas, no expectations. It's just open to whatever is present.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think as you do this kind of work, the brain training work, is that you will discover the way you have been listening. And we've been listening through hurts and pains, because we got hurt over here and we're going to make sure we're not going to get hurt again, and they're not going to do this. We're actually creating more of that. But we start changing the way we are listening. We're not listening from a survival base. We're listening from, like you were saying, Shruti, is limitless openness. And it's definitely a very rewarding, I guess, it is really. 5, having newfound freedom and peace of mind. I think that's kind of what I got most out of this in the beginning, is just like the thinking, like the rattling in the head, and the processing and the thinking and the negotiating and the fillers and like all the coping mechanisms. And for that to quiet down, like to have that peace of mind, was like, wow, this is pretty quiet in here.
Yes.
Pretty quiet in here. And I think that these things help because we know how we got the issue. We know how the 10 commandments, and then we have the 12 steps to be able to have this kind of promise in our life, this kind of mental diet. Like if we're doing what we're doing, this newfound freedom and peace of mind comes effortlessly, right?
So Rita, do you wanna, these 5 steps seem to be quite like a capsule on its own, right?
Say that again.
Like these first 5 attitudes are like one set on its own. Like it encompasses the whole, not all of it, but for the most part, it's the meat of the work.
Yeah. Of what?
So go through like using these 5 attitudes, how, you know, like just an example, like, okay, create new future, and then like what would be the flow.
Okay. So this is how you want to look at it. Because of your participation, these are the promises that you're getting. Because you understand the 10 steps and you understand the concepts and you understand why we have problems and you understand that we're cleaning it up, clearing those out, we're tapping them out, we're sage mode, we're rewriting, releasing, rewiring. We're doing all that, all those. And then the 12 steps are, you know, are when those are completed, this is what you find. The first 5 is what you find in your life. You find that you can create. You find that you can restore love and affinity for yourself and for maybe the perpetrator who did you wrong, or for the human race. You'll be able to shift your communication to, you know, possibility based instead of like, no way, every doggy dog world, I'm, you know, everyone's on their own. Like we wouldn't have to live like that. So this is a promise that you get out of participating, you know, with the 12 steps, having a transformational system that allows you to break these down. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of promises, you know, to like 10, to commit to, like, my God, I would never commit to anything because I was afraid that if I committed and I didn't come through, I didn't satisfy the commitment, that I was a liar, a cheat, and, you know, not a person of my word. And so what do? You play small. I played small. I was like, oh my God, what if I can't do it? You know, and to be able to offer yourself, people, places, thing, to request something. Can you imagine if you requested something that is important to you? Like, how many of us go and request anything? No, we don't. We play small because you don't want to get rejected. You don't want to get told you're needy. You don't want to get told you're high maintenance. So be able to request something that is important to you, and it doesn't matter if you get it or don't get it. That's not the, like, if you get it, great. If you don't, it doesn't rock your world. It doesn't collapse you. It doesn't put you in a deep depression for 10 years because your partner or your spouse or your children, you know, said no. It was just, they said no. And that was no attachment, no clinginess, no, what was the other word? No. So, or extend an invitation. You know, sometimes we don't extend invitations for anything, to date someone. Like, oh my God, do you want to go on a date? Like, we don't even extend an invitation. Would you like me to work for you? I'm extending my invitation to go work for you. It's like, we don't do that because we have all these fears. So you'll be able to clean those up. And you'll be able to do that. So like a lot of these 64 is with dignity. We could stand for ourselves. And it doesn't mean that you're doing it against your fellows, your others, your parents, your kids. You can stand for yourself with dignity, with love, with compassion. You can speak for yourself in such a way that it's not about, that means you rejected other people. That means you stood against. No, it doesn't have nothing to do with that. And how can you get these? Is by clearing and rewriting old past memories, right? 51, we have life strategies or patterns, which are our inner guidance that govern how we interact with the external world. So if we have patterns of love, compassion, calm, curiosity, acceptance, allowing, if we have those patterns, can you imagine our interaction with the world? It's huge. It's huge. And we're not gonna master all those. I mean, we've been in the practice for 5 years, and we're, day by day, moment by moment, we are cleaning stuff up. If it's a thought, if it's a belief system, um, it's it's not one and done. I mean, we're human. It's But what I love about this is that it's a weekly support system. You're working on yourself, and it's not like it becomes effortless when you're breathing and tapping and your body's relaxing and you're not in fight flight mode, that it becomes more effortless. Do you find that to be true compared to when you first started?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very certainly.
We can get ready to close. I know time's fly. 1 hour, like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the Marianne Williamson's Return to Love, and then close the meeting. So words to live by. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. I want to read Robert Smith's one. He did one. He posted it. If someone finds it, we should read that one. I'd like to read it out loud and see if it fits this 12-step program, because it starts with our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. And then it says something else. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of the divine. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of the divine that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we liberate others from our fear, from our own fear. Our own presence automatically liberates others, by Marianne Williamson's Return to Love. So I'm going to sign
That's
up.
beautiful.